Welcome back, guys, to Fog Entertainment, and we are here again with another Snowfall review, Season 1, Episode 8. And of course, a lot happened this episode. Leon, is he going to survive? We get quite possibly one of the most cringiest scenes I've seen in television. And then we also had Teddy trying to put the alive sister down a dead end. Can we do it? We'll have to wait and see. But you know, I think the more as this show goes on, I'm beginning to really like the three different story arcs. But I'll be interested to see by the end, like season 5, season 6, if they're still continuing with that format, because that will be interesting, to be honest. But anyway, begin the episode. Franklin and his buddies obviously cutting the crack. One of them, the guy that's not called Leon, he tries it and then Leon bottles it. Leon's like, nah, we're not going to do this. Franklin points out though that they're not actually going to be selling this, they're just going to be giving out wee freebies, wee testers, and then the next day that's when we start charging, and so everybody can get a taste for it, because no one in LA has actually tried it before. And you know what, I think Franklin, he's getting very smart, and he brings this proposition to Jerome and his Aunt Lou. They want in, but Jerome kind of doesn't want in. He's like, you know what, aren't we happy enough here, making enough money? Then his aunt's like, oh, but you know, I've seen these things on the TV and I want to be just like them. I mean, Franklin points out, right, that you could make 7 figures a month once it gets up and running. See, 7 figures, right? And what, I mean, this is set in the 80s, folks. 7 figures in the 80s is more than enough. More than enough. I don't really understand why you would need to continue this. It just doesn't really make a lot of sense. Like, 7 figures, I mean, I get it, right? Drug dealing's drug dealing. It's not one of those things you can just set up, man, and, you know, disband after a month. But you could definitely pass off the reins to somebody else. So I don't really understand it from that regard. You know, it's like if Jerome and Lou are really that bothered, if you're splitting $1 million a bunch of ways, you're going to be walking away with at least a couple of $100,000, aren't you? So I think they need to I think they might need to reel it in on that front. Panicking, but I mean, money's money at the end of the day. I don't know how much he's making from the other business, but yeah, Jerome and Aunt Lou, they're not really doing much for me. Someone else who didn't really do much for me, didn't even appear in this episode. Franklin's mother, that's just a nothing character, man. Doesn't do anything for me in the slightest, if I'm being brutally honest, man. Just kinda appears, kinda does nothing. We see them begin to sell it. Leon gets into a bit of beef with some hobo. His boots, his shoes get blood all over them. He kind of wants Franklin to pay for it. That causes him and Franklin to get into a wee bit of a scuffle, and they fall out. Meanwhile, Teddy, he's with his sister. They get a bit of information out of this English guy, beat him up, get a location. Then they go to this club. It's called Glitter. One of the waitresses there gives them the location. Obviously, Teddy didn't want them to get the location, so he rings his CIA buddy. They get them set up down at the house. He then takes a drink, loads of drinks, and starts drinking tobacco ash just so he can bring him throw up. So it delays the process then getting to the house, which I thought was actually I thought that was pretty smart for this guy. Teddy, like, he's not just a pretty face, you know what I mean? Not that he is just an overly pretty face, because the guy that got described taking her sister from the bar was a chubby Latino by the name of Freddie Mercury. So I mean, I tell you what, I think Alejandro does look like a bit chubby. Freddie Mercury, sorry. So I think it's a good comparison, but obviously this is like alarm bells ringing for Teddy. When those two get into it, he's kind of like, right, I'll take care of it. Alejandro points out that the camp has been hit and they don't really know what's next. But Teddy's like, no worries, I'll take care of this. So him and the sister then go to the house. Afterwards, this was after she saw a picture of him and his wife and kid on the wall on the fridge. He's like, I am divorced. I mean, he fired all the CIA documents into the oven, obviously to keep things hidden, guys. But it's like, she's like, oh, is that your nephew on the fridge? I mean, I guess he could have just went, it's my nephew. But then he like doubled down and says it's his kid. I think he should have said it's his nephew. Absolutely should have said that. I mean, not that this woman's dangerous, but it does leave a bit more of a paper trail, him saying it's his son. But then I guess if she finds that it is his son, it doesn't look like the lie's as bad. But then at the same time, folks, who knows? But they go to the house. The woman's like, only parties we throw here are for under 9s, involve cake, and they're for kids. But obviously this was just a plant there by Teddy, so smart business on that front. We'll see if they're going to find anything more out. We then go to basically Gustavo, Pedro, all those jabronis. It turns out that Pedro told Daddy about the whole side operation. I mean, he's not overly impressed, but I thought this was going to result in a wee bit more here. It didn't really. We've seen conversation between the old man, who doesn't appear to have much left. Then when Pedro walks into the operation, his cousin froze like something at him. He's like, oh, you're running to Daddy, pendejo. But then El Jefe, he walks in, bit of a beef there, and it was just a pretty cringy scene, man, you know. She bottles it because he walks in. That Pedro guy, just a fucking nothing burger. Then she gets scolded. Oh, if you're lying to me, I say, about not telling Gustavo, there will be severe consequences. It's like you would think starting up this operation without the organisation's approval, green light, would be a lot worse than not telling Gustavo about it. Hey senor, what kind of Mexican are you? You've never ridden a horse, Effie? He's never ridden a horse. Big whoop. Meanwhile, Franklin, well, the episode pretty much ends. He returns home, he looks at his back. Leon tried to make amends, but we saw a car stalking him, and obviously that car has got its revenge. I believe this is Darvell. Sprays Leon. Franklin then hides the crack. He moves it into like a different house. He comes out. He's applying pressure to Leon's wound. I don't think Leon's going to die here, but yeah, I mean, it was a decent ending to the episode, a decent cliffhanger for episode 8 of Snowfall. 2 episodes to go, and you know, I think the true reflection of a good TV show is how do they wrap up a season? You know, do they do it well? Is there anticipation for season 2? I think Snowfall season 1's got a long way to go in the next 2 episodes for me to be like, oh, that was a great season. I mean, I think it's been decent, but nothing that blows me away. Anyway, I'll give this episode a 7 out of 10. It was no bad.